Welcome to The Cards Made Me Do It, your gateway to the mystical realm of cardology. I'm Ayafa, here to explore how this esoteric science intertwines astrology, numerology, and the wisdom of the cards. Join me as we navigate life's mysteries through the lens of lunar cycles and celestial energies, unlocking insights that guide our path. Before we begin, I want to remind you that this podcast is a space for exploring deep, thought-provoking, and sometimes taboo topics. The goal is always to foster awareness, growth, and meaningful conversation, not to judge or harm. While I share insights from my experience as a human, certified cardologist, energy healer, and spiritual guide, this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice in legal, mental health, or medical matters. This is a brave space. If at any point you need to pause, reflect, or take a break, please honor that. Some content may challenge your perspective, and that's okay. We're here to explore, uncover, and evolve together. Hey there, this is Ayafa Tierra Coleman, or Ayafa or Tierra. Nice to have y'all back. Today we are talking about a big subject for me personally, but it is destiny swapping. And I went down a rabbit hole with this one. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at notes. It's a lot. First and foremost, a bit about me. I am a Six of Clubs, which is the card of the messenger. And in addition to that, my secondary card in my spread is the card we're going to be discussing today as a Virgo. I am ruled by Mercury. And the card for destiny swapping is a Six of Spades. But first off and foremost, destiny swapping is the act of manipulating another's energy, path, or destiny without their knowledge or consent. So, some people may not have heard of it. Some people have heard of it. A lot of the times when I discuss the term with the people that I know, they're so shocked by it, but they need to know more. And the reason why it's one of the best kept secrets is because the ones who kind of should be responsible for putting the information out there are the ones that are primarily doing it. Now, this is not to fearmonger. This is not to bash. This is simply to inform. And so destiny swapping, where to even begin? It's levels to it. It's levels to it. I'm not going to say it's all malefic. In certain cases, you have some parents, moms especially, but some parents that try to destiny swap with stuff they see in their kids, like, Lord, let it be me and things like that. And then it's some woo woo levels and then it's some non woo woo levels. So, like I said, there's levels to this. So, Lord of mercy, where to even begin? So, first thing to note is that your destiny is yours. It's not your healers. It's not your spiritual teacher. It's not your readers. It's not even your parents after a certain age. Your destiny is yours. You're responsible for your destiny. And I'm going to quote somebody that has been very pivotal, even though I've known her such a short time, and helping me to realize the same thing for myself. Ia Katora, shouting you out, even though, you know. Her biggest statement that still holds true to me is that if you driving by or people driving by and they see a bag of money on the side of the road, and they drive past that bag, why would you drive past that bag of money? So in this term, or in this case, you are the bag of money. So the psychology behind it, I don't know. I do know because I be knowing. But the only thing I can think of in the case, and I'm speaking from experience when I state this, there, like I said, diving into the cards, it got deep. It got deep. And so Make sure I put on do not disturb so this recording don't get interrupted, hopefully. Sorry. So, Lord of mercy. Oof. So some of the biggest reasons I could see one trying to do this, and like I said, without bashing, there are some people that come here, very few people that come here with the knowledge of how their life would play out. I don't think that they're given the full on knowledge of everything that comes to pass into why their life plays out the way that it does, but some people know, number 1. Number 2, some readers, they see things that they want for themselves, and most human beings are inherently selfish. And so they like, "Oh, this person don't know what to do with that. Imma take that for myself." Um, and then, some people have a God complex. I mean, we're all pieces of God. That's another discussion for another time. Um, that's another discussion for another time. So I'm gonna stick to this. So with this, those are, I mean, just those are it. Those are the thing. Um, So, what I see in the cards, to get to my point with the cards. So, the card for destiny swapping came to be a Six of Spades. And the Six of Spades itself is the card of fate, karma, responsibility. Um, you know, it plagues me heavily. It can also be a card of slowing down, and so when I started diving deeper into why this was the card for destiny swapping, it made so much sense. I even tried to record it last week, in which I personally had it show up for me, and when the Six of Spades shows up for me, I can't get anything done. It's going to be something. And even snow is a damn Six of Spades, and if you have kids and snow affects your life, so with the Six of Spades and the karma I see in the cards is, it has a Two of Spades as a karma card, but it's also, oof, it's so let me just look at this. I want to make sure I know what the hell I'm talking about before I say anything. Sorry. Um, Gotta look at these cards. And we're gonna pray technology works with me today. So with the Six of Spades, the Six of Spades has karma cards of the Two of Spades, but the funny thing about it being about the Two of Spades being one of its karma cards, it is Mars to its own karma card. Two of Spades is the card of codependency, misplaced loyalty, um, and it calls for a balance. And so that's what these people don't see when they do this destiny swapping. It calls for a balancing of some sorts, and it unknowingly binds them to the person that they're doing it to. Or maybe they do know and they just don't give a damn. Maybe they do know. Um, and so one thing I know for certain, if they don't pay for it now, they're gonna have to pay for it later. Another life, something like that, whatever. Um, so by that point, you are bound in a soul contract. Because they took something from you without your permission. You didn't give it willingly. We all do have free will. And when you manipulate another's free will, you have some debt to pay. So, another one of its karma cards that I found so interesting, and this is what got me on a note of some personal stuff. Its other challenging karma card is the Nine of Spades. And it's a card of other things, but in terms of this, it's the card of illness, toxic energy, emotions, nuclear energy. It's a lot. And so that's so pivotal to me because a person that I dealt with, that I figured out was doing this, not just to me, but on a massive level. Um, what I saw happen in them was a sickness that could not be cured. It started manifesting in the body. And so, like, what comes to mind is that, yeah, you're taking these good things from other people. You're taking things from these people's lives that you're like, ooh, that's gold. Give me that. But what you're unknowingly taking is also some stuff that you couldn't have seen, because everything ain't all love and light. Everything is not all love and light. You have balance in life. You have light, dark, contraction, expansion, um, yin, yang, all of that good stuff, just to name a few examples. And so you can't just decide that you're going to take the goodness without taking the bad, because we all have that roller coaster of life, or that wheel of fortune in life. Um, and so what I saw happen with this person, and it festered so bad. They had done it so much that it turned into incurable illness in their body from manipulating so many energies and taking so many things into themselves that they probably shouldn't. Well, not probably, that they damn well shouldn't have. And it's, and I never want to see a person suffer. I don't even care if you've done something to me. I never in particular want to see a person suffer. Me not dealing with a person is enough, because blessings get cut off. But I digress. Um, but it can fester. I've seen it fester so bad into something that could not be cured. So that is the point. I don't have to dwell on this too much. Um, and I'm gonna scale it out a little bit. So right now, make sure I know what I'm talking about again, but I know what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put some examples up too. Um, the U.S. of A. If you are here in America with me, is actually sitting in the seat. Is actually sitting in the seat, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, things don't want to work for me. But the US is actually in the grand solar spread of 68 right now. And so it's actually sitting in the seat of the oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay, so the US is actually sitting in the seat in its age spread of 68. See if I can try to get this work. It's sitting in the age spread of 68, or sitting in the seat of the card of destiny swapping. And I find that significant because it's not just people, that can manipulate these things. It's entities as a whole. Entities as a whole can, I shouldn't say entities because I'm not trying to freak people out, but it's it's levels to the shit. Period. Um, you see it in so many different places. You see it on lower levels, but here with the US, I see it as with these oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I see with these accidents, been a lot of accidents surrounding us lately. And I see that as the deaf trying to not the deaf, Jesus. Sorry. I see that as the US trying to pay off some karmic debt by way of sacrificing their citizens. And I don't, like I said, this is never to fearmonger, but this is just to make you aware. And something I didn't realize is that the US's moon card, which is the Ace of Spades, which is a card of death, transmutation, and rebirth, is actually in their Pluto, which is actually the planet of death, reincarnation, transmutation, and rebirth. Um, So, like I said, this is just to make you aware of the things that go around, and how you used to hear the elders say, I don't hear them say it too much because whatever. But you used to hear the elders say a lot, they could feel something in the air. And then you should just always trust your gut. One thing society has been designed to do is to teach us to not trust ourselves. And you have to get back in touch with that innate intuition that you were born with. Don't let nobody gaslight you. Don't let your government gaslight you. Don't let these teachers gaslight you. If you feel something, dig into it, investigate it. You feel it for a reason. Whew. It's interesting because the US itself and its spread is actually being pushed forward by the card of financial stability and building solid foundations, um, and powerful spiritual money. Take with that what you will. Uh, yeah, they're trying to atone for some shit, but they're doing it the wrong way. Just say keep a watchful eye. I would definitely agree with my teacher Aquarius, and when she says when she mentioned stuff about planes before, earlier or at the end of last year. So I would definitely be mindful of that. I would be mindful of just giving your power away, period. And so some things to be mindful of. I have to do big energetic releases by breathing, y'all. Things to be mindful of because I don't want to go off on a tangent. I don't want to freak anyone out. If you want to go deeper into this, I could always go deeper into some stuff. Um, to be mindful, things to be mindful of concerning destiny swapping. Some red flags that came to mind would be to like with teachers who don't like to answer questions or catch an attitude when you do ask questions. Always be mindful of that. Be mindful of who'd read teachers, readers, healers, spirit guides, all them folk, whatever the hell you want to call them. Be mindful of people who want to give you some bullshit answer instead of telling you that they don't know the answer to your question or that they need to research that. Okay. Another one, a big one, would be that if everyone that they help is doing considerably much more worse than what they were when they first started learning with this teacher, that's an obvious one to be mindful of. Um, a big one is, of course, like I said, trusting your gut, intuition, and higher self, source, guides, the universe, whoever. Whew. And then another one is if they're teaching you to become more reliant on them than yourself, that is a major red flag. Those are just the ones I came up with off the top of my head. And of course, I write things down because my mind goes a mile a minute. Um, and some practical, some guidance I have on how to help clear yourself of this. Because one thing I personally can't stand is people putting fear mongering out there or putting things out there and then, excuse me, that's a release of energy, not giving people the tools or some guidance on how to help themselves. So one thing is abundantly clear. You need to sit with your higher self, your spirit guides, your egun are your ancestors, to see what needs to be done. Source as well, if that is what you subscribe to. But you need to sit down with them, yourself, whatever resonates with you. This could guide you into cord cutting. Cord cutting is ritualistic work. Sometimes some if it depends on what your innate gifts are. I always tell you to follow your gut, trust yourself. Cord cutting, it's something it can be as simple as it sounds. cord cutting. I'm not going to tell you how to do it because I think you should trust your gut and see what resonates with you. It's so much great information out there. There's a lot of foolishness out there, but one of the other biggest ones I can always say is I like calling back my energy to myself. Now, one thing I will say, I will I call back all of my energy, including that which was given freely and that which was taken without my permission. I do that on a regular basis when I'm spiritually bathing. Spiritually bathing can be helpful. Do it resonates. Staying prayed up and protected, but most importantly, taking back your power and standing in your power is one of the biggest things that I find helpful. So, looking over my notes just to making sure I touched on all the things that needed to be touched on. And then, just remember that the universe is all about balance. That which is given or taken must be given back some type of way. So, this is just to make you mindful. And I hope I was able to shed some light on that. Peace. Thank you for joining me on The Cards Make Me Do It. Remember to take what resonates and leave the rest. If you found value in today's journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay in tune with the cosmos and let the cards illuminate your path. Until next time, embrace the magic within and around you. Peace.